We think of Frosty the Snowman as this cute little character that loves cold weather, right? But frostbite is a horrible, horrible injury to the skin and underlying tissue that can lead to amputation. Dr. Brian Kendall is in emergency medicine at the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center. He says if you're out in extreme cold, even in the safety of your own car, you need to be prepared with plenty of protective clothing.
Your nose, your ears, the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. Those are the things that are the most exposed usually and the least amount of blood flow. So they're the most frequent sites that we see the beginnings of frostbite.
Imagine a quick trip to the store ends in an accident or car trouble and you're stranded in extreme weather.
You could get severe frostbite, which would lead to a term we call necrosis, or death of the skin and the tissues in those areas. So you could lose, parts of your ear, your nose, your fingertips, your toes.
Another reason to avoid prolonged exposure to the cold, he says the heart may not function as well in extreme cold weather.
We're not necessarily seeing heart attacks or strokes because of the cold, but the cold can lead to some decrease in your cardiac function, which then could potentially lead to something like a heart attack.
Even if you are not at risk as cold weather moves in this weekend, Dr. Kendall asks that you please take the time to call someone who is elderly or living alone. Make sure their heater is working properly and that they are not suffering from the cold in their own home. Dr. Kendall describes the worst-case scenario after exposure to the cold for too long.
You'll come into the emergency department with a very low core body temperature, and your heart rate can be significantly low. You may not be breathing very well. You're not thinking very well.
And you can watch for the first sign of frostbite, which is numbness or tingling in the extremities. Dr. Kendall says, remember, that is your body telling you that it's time to do whatever you can do to stay warm.